Hello and welcome to Hospital Mom Hacks. Today's tip is quite simple. I'm going to show you how to keep organized if your child is on the Beads of Courage program. So Beads of Courage is a program. Beads binder, Bella's binder. It's Beads of Courage right here. So Beads of Courage is a program that children that are long-term stay in hospital or oncology patients, it's a program for them. And it's beads that document their medical journey. So especially if they're a long-term patient, it can get quite daunting. I actually didn't find out about the Beads of Courage program until Bella was in her 3rd month of hospital stay. And at first I thought, man, that's just, it's a daily journal, and I thought that's just so much to backtrack on. But when I figured out what the program was about, it is worth it. And the reward for my daughter when she's older to understand her medical journey this way will be priceless. It'll be easy for her. It'll be such a beautiful keepsake. So I'm maintaining that her Beads of Courage journey in a binder. So number 1 tip, you need a binder. So I'll show you here. Start with the binder. So this is Bella's Beads. It helps, especially documenting daily. So I'll show you her card. Because when you have specialists and doctors and they come in and out every day and they need to know details quick, sometimes you as a parent are the best source of memorizing those dates, remembering those dates. And when you have a lot on your plate and you just can't remember, I found that the Beads of Courage journal helps me remember dates like to a T. It's a great history tracking for your child. Each card is about 3 weeks. And so yellow is admission, sleepover, hospital stay. So I just black dotted, this is 1 week. So I can keep track of 1 week. Bella has just about a year and a half of her Beads of Courage journey. So I've switched some beads to symbolize 1 week versus every single day. So this is her beads from this past October 2014 up into the present day. She has a whole nother set at home from her first 10-month stay in hospital. So this is since October. This is her transplant bead when she had her bone marrow transplant at the end of March. Okay, so back to organizing. Have a binder, and the cards, just hole punch them. They don't usually come hole punched. You can fold them in half to make a journal, but binder's just way easier. Hole punch them, grab a bag, keep all the beads that you need to add to the string later. Okay, so here is all of Bella's cards in a binder. Now, another thing that you get with Beads of Courage program is Courage beads. Of course, there's specialized beads that you receive, and they come with little card notes. So here are some of Bella's Beads of Courage cards, and they tell you what each bead is for, and then you can describe the bead, add the date. This one specifically was for a real hard talk that we had with some specialists and finding some things out. You know, it's just about having courage, right, to get through. So to organize these, I just went to Staples and I got, they're like business card holders or baseball card holder plastic sheets that are already hole punched. So that helps with that. There's also what are called special accomplishment beads. And so you can keep track of those. So those are like the two main special beads that I like to keep track of. So they're here at the bottom. So special accomplishments or courage beads. So I kind of like to think of the special accomplishments as happy beads and the beads of courage as the tough times. And so for example, here's a bead. This is a special accomplishment. The flowers symbolize Bella's beginning of her outdoor passes. So the first time she got to be outside in months after being on isolation. We symbolize that with a flower. And then, so it's just marked as a special accomplishment, but on the side I'll write, you know, so yellow flower, outside passes, so I can remember what day she got to go outside. So you can add little side notes apart from the journal's already having some details about what each color bead is for. You just add like little side notes, special little things that you don't want to forget. And that helps. I check off, when I add them on her string, I just check off at the top that I got those beads on the string. So I'm caught up to May 10th. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's about it for my tips. Just if your child has the beads of courage, grab a binder, use these tips, and it'll help keep track whether you're in hospital for 1 month or half a year or more than a year. Definitely get a binder for your beads of courage. That'll help you organize it that way. It is definitely worth it. So I'll show you a couple more of Bella's beads. Here's when I started her blog. And so I just grabbed extra beads. Beads of Courage doesn't always, they don't have a lot of letters, so you can always, I've got my own special beads to kind of just jazz up her Beads of Courage a little bit. Not like you need to, but yeah, so when I started Bella's blog, and if you'd like to follow her blog, it is bellasmustardseed.blogspot.ca. And I hope that today's tip helps all of you that are using Beads of Courage. Take care.